Hey everyone, Raquel Velez from Alpine Parrot here. I want to make sure that you are fully prepared to understand exactly what size you should get based off of your measurements. Now, I know it can be really scary to have to break out a piece of measuring tape or to just know these numbers because we have been taught so many things that really aren't great for our mental health. But I want to remind you that whatever numbers you find have nothing to do with your personal self-worth, who you are as a person, none of that. The numbers are literally just data so that you can find the best fitting clothing that makes you feel amazing and lets you go outside safely and comfortably. That's all we're doing here. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you need to know before you even break out the measuring tape is what to wear when you're measuring yourself. Note the first thing you should do is wear the appropriate undergarments for whatever type of adventure you're planning on going on while you're wearing your garments. So there's a difference between a bra that you might wear to work versus a sports bra that you might wear on the trail. Whatever it is that you're planning to be wearing while you're wearing your bristlecone flannel, that's what you're going to want to wear while you're measuring yourself. Then you're going to want to wear something that's a pretty tight fitting, but not like, I don't want anything that squeezes your body and disproportionalizes the way that your body is shaped. You want to have something that will really just kind of hug your curves just enough so that you feel comfortable. If you want to do this in just your underwear, that's totally fine. Maybe don't put it on the internet, but you'll be fine. So with that said, once you're in whatever setup that makes you feel comfortable, put on some music, whatever, it's gonna be great. Okay, so now for the fun part. If you haven't seen our measurement video for pants, definitely go check that out. There's a few important things there, but we'll go over all of the most important things right now. First things first, I find it's really helpful if you have a kind of 3/8 to 1/4 inch elastic, which you can use to help kind of guide where your measurements need to be. It's really easy to forget all sorts of things. And what I want you to do is I want you to take your elastic and wrap it around your belly. And you want this to be at your waistline. Go ahead and tie it up so that it is not too tight, that it doesn't stretch, but tight enough that it's not gonna just flop around. And you want it to be right at your I'm a little teapot spot. So bend over to the side, and that's gonna be right about where you want that to be. It's also important to make sure that it is parallel to the ground. So you can see that's a little bit off, so I'm gonna just adjust that a little bit. And then you'll take your measuring tape. And again, if measuring tape is really bothersome for you, that's okay. You can use a cord or any sort of webbing, something that won't stretch at all, and then use that and give it to a friend and ask them to figure out what the number is using a measuring tape separately. But for those who are comfortable with the measuring tape itself, go ahead and put it right below that tape. So you want the top of your measuring tape to touch the bottom of your elastic. That's your number for your waist. Now for the bust, you're gonna go all the way up to the fullest part of your bust. And remember, you want it also to be parallel to the ground. Make sure there aren't any twists. And here's an important part that a lot of people don't always say, which is once you've got it on, take a breath and make sure that it's not so tight that you can't breathe comfortably. You're gonna be active, you're gonna be outside, you're gonna be breathing heavily. That's good. You don't wanna have anything in the way stopping you from being your fullest self. So do that, and that's your full bust measurement. Finally, for your bicep, this one's a little bit tricky to do by yourself, but it can be done. I want you to, once again, use the fullest part of your bicep. So make sure your arm is nice and vertical, and you're going to Just kind of be on the fullest part, make sure it's nice and parallel to the ground, and that's your measurement right there. Keep in mind that your arms are different sizes, so measure both. Usually your dominant arm is getting the one that's the strongest and the beefiest, or the juiciest, as we like to say here at Alpine Parrot. And that's, again, to make sure that you have as much room as you need to be comfortable and safe while you're outside. So that's pretty much it. On our size chart, you'll see a bust, a waist, and a a bust, a waist, and a bicep measurement. And that's gonna help you understand exactly which shirt to get based off of your measurements. And don't forget, we also have 2 fit styles, just like in our pants. So for that, you can also just guesstimate if you really wanted to. Think about what size you normally wear, between a 1X to a 5X, we just call them 1 to 5. And then based off of your cup size, if you're closer to a C cup, you're gonna want the coastal fit because it's a C. And if you have an F cup, if you're closer to that, you're gonna want to go with the F forest fit. And if you're in between, take a look at the measurements. It really will help the most. And with that, good luck. Holler if you need anything, reach out if you have any questions. Have a great one.